Good morning. It's 6 o'clock. We're with you all the way through until 9 with Susanna and Alistair Campbell here from 6:30. First, the £20 a week increase to universal credit introduced at the start of the pandemic to support people on low incomes comes to an end today. Charities, unions and leaders from across the political spectrum have hit out against the move amid concerns that thousands of people will be plunged into poverty. But the government's defending its actions, saying that higher wages will be the better option as the country emerges from COVID restrictions. This has caused a lot of upset, hasn't it? And it's going to be a big blow to those families affected. Boris Johnson will close the Tory party conference by declaring he has the guts to tackle major domestic challenges ignored by previous governments. The Prime Minister set to promise what he'll call a long overdue change of direction, with higher wages for all and a pledge to end the UK's north-south divide. So Boris Johnson saying that he's going to get things done. What does he mean by that? Well, that former Facebook employee turned whistleblower has told a US Senate committee that the social networking giant puts profits before people. Hawkins said the company had misled the public about the dangers the site poses to some users' mental health. The allegations come after Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram went down across the world for several hours on Monday, leaving more than 3 billion users without access. Well, it's not been a good week for the Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg, has it? French fishermen have threatened to cut off Christmas supplies to Britain. They've warned they could blockade both the port of Calais and the Channel Tunnel in a major escalation of the post-Brexit row over fishing licences. Abuse against disabled people increased by 50% during lockdown. That's according to a new report which looked at police data. The study found that even face-to-face hate crime was on the rise, despite people being told to stay at home during the pandemic. But cases rarely reach court, as Michelle Morrison now reports. The Duchess of York has been speaking to Good Morning Britain about how she finds inspiration in the Queen during difficult times. Sarah Ferguson was appearing at the Hello magazine Inspiration Awards last night. Louisa James was there and has this exclusive report. Now it's 6:15. Let's find out what's happening with the weather. Thanks very much. Good Morning Britain's here all the way through till 9. Alistair Campbell and Susanna will be here from 6:30. That's coming up, but first let's get the news, travelling weather where you are. See you shortly. Hello again. Let's take a look at the front pages of the newspapers now. And the Times, returning to our top story now. And the £20 a week uplift to universal credit comes to an end today, despite calls from many for it to remain. Joining me is food author and anti-poverty campaigner, hasn't it, up and down the country. What's it going to mean for those people who are going to try and lessen that blow a bit? Because, we've heard so many stories from people. So many people have got in touch with our temporary thing because of the pandemic. To maintain it would cost £6 billion a year. We've already had this £372 billion bill for the pandemic. That, I guess, isn't it? For some people, it's like a taxi ride. Now, 6:24, Richard Arnold's here with the latest entertainment news. So it is Susanna and Alistair Campbell coming up shortly. In the meantime, let's find out what's happening with the weather. Laura has all the details for you. Good morning. Yes, Boris Johnson will close the Tory party conference later by declaring he has the guts to tackle major domestic challenges ignored by previous governments. The Prime Minister set to promise what he'll call a long overdue change of direction, with higher wages for all and a pledge to end the UK's north-south divide. A former Facebook employee turned whistleblower has told a US Senate committee that the social networking giant puts profits before people. Hawkins said the company had misled the public about the dangers the site poses to some users' mental health. The allegations come after Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram went down across the world for several hours on Monday, leaving more than 3 billion users without access. So this morning, the Duchess of York has been speaking to Good Morning Britain about how she gets inspiration from the Queen in difficult times. Sarah Ferguson was appearing at the Hello magazine Inspiration Awards, and Louisa James was there and has this exclusive report. Cuts of materials that have been used in the process already, so there are lots of companies out there trying to make a difference when it comes to fast fashion. And as well, but I shall continue. Good morning, and the top stories this morning. The £20 a week
Hello, I'm Faye Barker. Hundreds of people gathered